Hello everyone, my name is Katie and I am the Introverted Reader, and it's warm in here, but I promised you guys my July TBR today, and yeah, there is no rhyme and reason to any of the books that I'm going to be reading this month apart from one, which is going to be our Introverted Reader Book Club Pick of the Month for July, and that is Felix Ever After by Christen. This is a story about a transgender black boy called Felix who basically gets his Instagram hacked into, or his social media, and basically this horrible person starts posting all sorts of transphobic, horrible things about him, and he sort of takes it upon himself to basically get his own back on this person and do a little catfishing of his own, and that's really all I know about it. But I've seen this making its rounds around booktube and everyone is just loving it, and I really want to read it and love it too. So if you would like to join me in July for reading this book, then feel free to do that. I am going to be reviewing it as well, but I am going back to work next week. I don't know what date exactly, but yeah, I'm gonna be going back to work in July, so my review for this might come late, but I promise I will do a review of this once I have read it. If you want to join me in reading this, feel free. Now, the next book that I want to read is by the same author, Christen, and it is Queen of the Conquered. Again, I'm not entirely sure what it's about. All I know is that it's about this kick-ass girl that wants to get revenge on those that have wronged her family, and to be honest, that's really all I need to know. That's really all I need to know, and with all the contemporary that I've been reading lately, I'm really looking forward to getting to this one, and we love a floppy paperback. We really do, so I'm excited to read this one. Okay. The next book that I want to read in July is one that has been sitting on my shelf for a really long time, and it's an older fantasy book that everybody was reading back in the day that I never got to, and it was Graceling by Christen. I found this gorgeous edition in Waterstones, I think maybe a year or 2 years ago, I can't remember, but it's been sitting on my shelf for like the longest, and I really think now is just the time to read it. Again, I'm not 100% sure what this is about. From what I gather, it's set in a fantasy world where everyone has different abilities, and our main character's like special ability is that she is like a master assassin or something, from what I gather. But we shall find out more once I actually get around to reading it, and I'm really excited to get to it. Okay, the next one is another older young adult part of a series that I never got to. I bought it and I meant to read it, but I never actually ended up reading it, but we're going to be reading it in July, and that is The Winter's Curse by Marie Stankowski. Again, I'm not entirely sure what this is about. From what I gather, it's a dystopian, and I think our main girl gets enslaved in a household or something, and it's all about her trying to like break free out of that. Again, we'll find out whenever I read it, but to be honest, all I needed to know was that it was dystopian, because I haven't read a good dystopian in a really long time, so I'm really hoping that this is going to be a good one. The next one that I want to read in July is A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Clois. I think this is about a poisoner. I'm not entirely sure. Or that she has magic and she's not supposed to have magic because she's a woman or something like that. Again, all I know, it's young adult, it's fantasy. It came out a while ago and I never got around to reading it. And again, it's another lovely floppy paperback, so I'm excited to get to it. I really hope that it's a good one. The next one is Spelled by Betsy Show. And from what I gather, it's about this princess who lives in Oz, and she is just kind of tired of her life. She finds it quite mundane, and she's not really, she isn't really feeling very fulfilled in her role as a princess and living in Oz and whatever. And I think they're trying to like coerce her into marrying this prince, and she doesn't want to, something along those lines. But again, we will not know until I read it, so I will definitely be reading this one in July. And like, look at this cover. Like, look at this. I love this. Okay. The next one, actually, that I want to read is a continuation of a series that I've been reading, and that's the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. So this is book 3, Escaping from Houdini. And the premise of this one is that Audrey and Thomas are on a boat heading to America. And is it America they're going to? I think so. They're heading over to America on this boat, and these weird things start happening on the boat. People start disappearing, people start getting murdered. Like, we love a good murder mystery with a supernatural twist. Like, that is what I really love about this series. Like, and do not fear, the boat is not the Titanic. It's not the Titanic, because I looked at the picture at the bottom and I was like, oh girl. But it is not the Titanic. It is the RMS Eurydice. Etrurai. I'm pretty sure the author made that up. If it's an actual real ship, I can't pronounce the name. But anyway, I'm really excited to continue on with this series. And the last book that I hope to read in the month of July is Soul of the Sword by Julie Kagawa. This is the sequel to Shadow of the Fox, which I think I read not last month or the month before or something like that. I can't remember, but I am enjoying this. It's based on, I believe, Japanese mythology, and our main girl is a shapeshifter. She's a fox spirit or a fox demon, but nobody can know because her kind aren't really thought of very well in society. And there's this magic scroll that if it gets into the hands of the wrong people, then this evil dragon will be awoken and basically all hell will break loose, and we can't have that. So it's our main character's job to sort of guard the scroll and keep it away from those that would do everybody else harm. So I am really excited to get into this. It's kind of just your average sort of trashy young adult fantasy, and that's what Julie Kagawa does, but her books are so binge-worthy. Honestly, if you haven't read any of her books before, I do highly recommend them. So those are all the books that I hope to read in the month of July. Like I said, I am going back to work in July, which I am both kind of excited and anxious about, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But yes, just because I am back at work doesn't mean that I'm going to be neglecting my reading, and I won't be neglecting you guys, so don't be worrying. I will keep you guys posted on when I'm going to post my wrap-up. I had my wrap-up for June just plan to film it tomorrow, but I'm waiting on a phone call from my boss, so the outcome of that phone call will determine when and where I upload my wrap up. So that is it for this video. Twitter, Instagram, down below as always. Subscribe if you're new and ring the bell. I would really love it if you joined us here in this lovely safe space. Also, for those of you that are following me on Twitter, the Untamed Watch Party is happening tomorrow and I'm so excited. So yes, join us for that tomorrow, 7 o'clock. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.